Hello, and thank you for joining me on this channel where we may be dazed, but we are not confused. We are going to do a What is Haunting Your House reading for the sign of Gemini. So the purpose of this reading is to take a look at some situation that you might not be paying attention to, which is trying to really get your attention. And what we want to do is get some insight into exactly what that is, as well as some advice about what you can do to integrate that into your life so that you can move into a more peaceful and prosperous future. All right, so looking at the cards that I made ahead of time, it appears that you have an orb in your hallway. All right, and when people typically see orbs, they describe a blob or spherical shape of light that barely catches their eye, or that they might see kind of moving about, but they can't quite get a grip or handle on what exactly it is. They just know that there's a presence there in the shape of this orb of light. And what I feel with this is that there is something that's trying to get your attention, but you may not be able to fully get a grasp of what that is. You just know that it's there. You might look and see it out of the corner of your eye. You might blink once and it's gone, and then look again and it's back. And so there's something that you are needing to really pay attention to. And this is happening in the hallway. So from the perspective of a hallway, we would say that maybe you're in a room and you look out the doors and you see this orb in the hallway. So this would mean that you are in some sort of space or some compartmentalized place in your life, but somewhere in between the transitions of going from one room to another, there's this orb that's kind of floating around and trying to get your attention. So I would say that there's something in the midst of a change or transition that you're making where you're kind of in between spaces that is trying to get your attention. And you are needing to kind of get an idea of what the parameters of that is and why it is that that's popping up and what you need to understand about that. So let's take a look at the tarot. We're using Rider-Waite to try to clarify this. Pardon me while I shuffle. All right, so we have the Eight of Swords in reverse. So it feels like it could be the ending of feeling like you are confined, or feeling as if you are stuck in a space where you're kind of like trapped, but you're not really trapped. It could be just more mental. You believe that you are. And so now that you have some clarity, it can make you feel as if you are free and you're moving into a space of being clear on where you're going. Your emotions are more balanced and you are more aware of what it is that you are wanting to do and how you want to move forward, because you've got a clarity or truth about your thoughts on the matter. And that could be very common for us to be going into new situations and to not be clear about it and not really have an understanding of the changes or things that are happening. And so we might feel like we're kind of stuck because we don't want to take an action because we're not clear. But the thing about the Eight of Swords when it's upright is that, this person is bound and their eyes are blindfolded, but they can remove them at any moment and they kind of are free. But it's the emotions and the lack of clarity that makes it so that this individual is not able to do that. So with the Eight of Swords in reverse, I feel as if you are feeling that there is some glimmer of hope or light moving forward into this shift in between spaces, right? Let's get a divine feather messenger to get some advice about this. All right, we have two, but I'm going to do one. So I'll do one more. All right, we have the owl. So I've been getting a lot of owls. I get the white owl, and now this is the brown owl. So it says, your intuition is correct. Follow your inner wisdom without fail. So there may have been something that you were kind of picking up information about, and you weren't quite sure if that was the full picture of what you needed to understand in order to move forward. But with this card, I feel like you're getting confirmation that your intuition is correct on the matter. So let's read what the message says for this particular bird. It says, now is the time to start seeing things using the higher senses. Owl Messenger is here to assure you that your intuition is correct. The darkness or murkiness that surrounds a certain situation is merely a perception. Begin to access your intuitive skills to see the answers clearly. It may be an inner sense of knowing, viewing, listening, or feeling that needs to be used separately or together. Have you been resisting listening to your inner wisdom? Owl Messenger urges you to do so now. Allow there to be light within the darkness and find the answers that you seek. Embrace this part of yourself as you do. So, I feel as if this is kind of clarifying what we said, that something may have been unclear for you, and now you're moving into a space where the clarity is coming into focus and you know that you're on the right track. All right, that the little hits of intuition, I feel like in the form of this orb that was kind of in this hallway was correct for you. So let's take a look at the Mystical Shaman Oracle and get 1 card from that. Okay, I have the Andean Cross, and the number associated with that is the number 2. All right. Okay, so it says the Andean Cross represents the cosmology of the shaman. It depicts the 4 cardinal directions, the upper and lower worlds, and the steps to reach these realms. The hole in the center is a gateway to interdimensional travel, the proverbial eye of the needle that we can all go through to experience higher states of awareness and wisdom and to break free of linear time. The Andean Cross announces the start to a great journey. It's time to raise your gaze from the mundane day-to-day to that which, until now, has seemed beyond your grasp. Allow new wisdom to guide you and stop trying to make sense of it all before you respond with a resounding yes. The time has passed and the window of opportunity has closed. Now is not the moment to take that leap that you have been over preparing for. It is best to wait until conditions in heaven line up again to offer you a more propitious moment. Any bold action that you take now will require tremendous effort on your part. Just as important as knowing when to act is knowing when to return to your inner stillness and wait for more favorable times. Okay? So, with this card, it really appears that you are in a state of moving forward or needing to move forward. And this is the beginning of something that's brand new to you. And, like we said before, it's like you're in a time of transition and you might have felt trapped, like you couldn't move forward because you didn't have the clarity. And I feel as if, this is saying that you are in a space where you don't feel like you have to have it all figured out and that you don't need that in order to move forward. However, it also appears that there could have been a window of opportunity to do something that has closed. And, there might be a leap that you were wanting to take that maybe conditions were not allowing you to move into. And that could have been the issue as well. That there was like this intuitive hit about, should I do this or should I not do this? Is this the right time? Or there could have been actual delays in place that were keeping you from doing that. All right. So it also could mean that, you may have kind of waited for a long time because you weren't clear and you felt intuitively that you needed to move forward and take an action. And then by the time you figured out that, I'm going to do this, it's much more difficult to do it now than it would have been to do it at a time before. So with what we were getting before, I really feel like it's saying that it's okay to move forward with that, but to be mindful of the fact that it takes a lot more effort to do things if you wait for the most opportune time to where you feel perfectly in alignment. You don't feel like you're trapped in your thoughts and your emotions are blocking you and you feel like you're bound up. I feel like you've come into a time where you now feel as if you can do it and it's okay, and you have the confidence and courage and the things have aligned, but it does appear that it is a little bit more difficult to do. All right. And so that could be why you had this orb in your hallway that was trying to give you flashes of insight about, well, now that it's so difficult to do, should I do it now? And it's saying, yes, you can do it now because it's going to be difficult, but following your intuition is telling you that, you could move forward and do it. All right. At least that's how I'm picking that up. Okay. So let's get a peace oracle. Okay, we have persistence. All right, so I feel like that's kind of, going along with that as well. It seems as if you are being persistent and moving forward with this thing now that you feel confident enough to do that. And let's see what this has to say. It says, nothing could be worse than the fear that one had given up too soon and left one unexpended effort that might have saved the world. Jane Addams. Success is guaranteed. It is just a matter of time, dedication, and persistence. You can overthrow doubt and gloriously rise to every obstacle. Peace is here to support you, to catch you, and dare you on to the next attempt. Try with some oomph, and you'll triumph. A disheartening obstacle or opposition, a temporary setback or bothersome detour. Dogged determination is required. Seek positive reinforcement, resourcefulness, and an alternate path to your desired destination. I can do this. I am closer than I have ever been to success. Every no brings me closer to a yes. I have more knowledge, contacts, and skills than ever before. I have the stamina, resourcefulness, and confidence to stay true to my purpose. My destination is peace. All right. So definitely picking up that it is important that you stay persistent and be mindful of the challenges that you inevitably will need to face and will have to face because of the timing of your movements. But be aware that as long as you are persistent and aware that it's going to take extra effort, then you would be able to meet the challenges of following your intuition in moving forward with this. All right. So Gemini, that is what I have for your What is Haunting Your House reading. I hope it was helpful and that you were able to get some advice that can help you to move forward into a more peaceful and prosperous future. Thank you for joining me on this channel where we may be dazed, but we are not confused. And until the next video, bye-bye.